Hey guys, Kapper here, welcome back. So today's going to be an interesting trail cam video, but not for your usual reasons like, you know, a big buck or something like that, although we will see some bucks. I'm going to take you back to this spot, but I'm going to tell you what's unique about it and also a bonus. We're finally going to get a bonus on this property that we didn't have to work like extraordinarily hard for. So anyways, let's get into it. Let me start from the beginning here. So this was a ford crossing that I built with the excavator. I had a camera on this and it was a dead camera. It didn't work, so I put another one on. This is an old school, a wild game camera. It could be aimed a little higher, but it's still gonna have some great videos for us to talk about. So this is a ford crossing that I made with my excavator. This was a really steep ditch, and just on the inside of it was an old overgrown field, which I have since made into a beautiful, luscious food plot. So I made this ford crossing. Ford basically means you can drive across it. It's hard to see, but this thing was, 4 or 5 foot high, steep on both sides of this. This is an Ozarks runoff creek. So I did this with the excavator, and I made it, which is going to come into play later in the video. I made it as shallow of a pitch as I could on the entrance and the exit, and I'll show you why. But here's the bonus. Look at the water here. We've been in a drought now for about a month, a pretty bad one too. We had about a week or two of higher than normal temps. That's the saber-tooth buck. We had 90, 91 degrees here around the beginning of October, and it just, everything was baked out. And so there's a nice buck. So this little ditch crossing has been staying wet. At first I thought, well, I just made it a little lower because I dug a crossing so water was pooling there. But now that we're in this drought, I realize there's a spring somewhere uphill from here is a spring, because this little thing is staying wet, and you're going to see all these deer drinking from it here in just a sec. We're about to hit the 1st of October here. So this is a spring. I'm confident now. So I'm looking forward to maybe bringing in my excavator. See, even the birds are drinking out of it. There's a blue jay. And I might dig a hole here, or I might dig a hole upstream a little bit, because I haven't hiked it to see where the hello, brain fade, seep, creek, spring. All right, I haven't hiked up the creek to find out where the spring originates at. That's a nice little buck right there. But there he is hitting this watering hole. Like I said, we're in a drought, so all these creeks and that are dried up. They're all dried up. And if you can see on the right of the screen here, you can see that patch of green. Well, that's my food plot right here. You see that patch of green? That's the food plot on the other side of this creek. Before I worked it, you couldn't access it. You could hike into there. That was about it. But look at them all hitting this spring. That's awesome. Here's a pair of young bucks. Great to see. So what a nice bonus. So let me go through these and see if there's any decent bucks on here. This is only from the first 2 weeks of this camera, basically. And of course, you could see all the rocks. This is nice and firm, by the way, this ford crossing, because we are so rocky that even in wet weather I have crossed this and it's firm like a gravel road. So I mean, there's occasional bonuses here in the Ozarks with all the rocks. Mostly it's a drawback, but there's occasional bonuses. Yep, they all are hitting that spring, man. That is awesome. There's a nice buck, a decent one anyways. Oh, who's that one? That might be saber-toothed again. Anyways, so look at that. That's as good as having a watering hole. If you got a spring, or if you have a creek that you've dug out deep enough, man, I mean, if you've been with our channel for any amount of time, you know that I preach watering holes. I dig them left and right. I dig them. If I've dug one, I've dug 100 literally over the years on all of our property flipping. So it's so nice to have a bonus here. But let me get to the point about why I make these as negotiable the ramp angles as possible, because you got to dig out farther and farther to the side so you don't have too steep of a ramp. And you're going to see why here in a minute. So there you can clearly see, you know, when I cross it, it's firm. It's like a gravel road. So that's a nice bonus. This was, that looks like Felipe. We must have been doing some food plot work. I think I come through with the logger maybe. The crows even like my little spring. I've never had crow pie. I mean, you know, times might get crazy here the next month or 3. I mean, so you never know. I might start getting desperate. Lots of young deer that it would be nice and tender. All right, let me get to what I was looking at here. That crow again. Nice little young buck. Another nice buck. Broad daylight. I like it. Look at licking his lips. That cool, crisp water. Oh, now I'm thirsty. All right. Let me skim ahead. I'm almost to where I want to be here. But what a bonus, man, finding a spring. I'm fingers crossed that it's going to be year round. Okay, so here I'm going to set up a blind in this food plot. And again, I make these ramps as long as possible so I can not only get machines in there. So I take the excavator in since I've got it, and I clear out the spot and I level it out for a blind. Might as well use the machine if you got it. But this next one here, this is why. Here we go. Me and Sharon are going to put a new blind in here. And this ford crossing made it possible. Otherwise, you're not going to get a blind in here. You could maybe tractor just the top of the blind and build the tower in the field. I've done that a half dozen times, if not more. But here, you know, that's why I made the ford crossing the way I did, you know, as gradual as possible, you know, provided you got the room to do it. So we got a new blind in there. It's all in place. The deer are loving this new little spring watering hole right next to my micro plot. So what a nice bonus. I just wanted to do a real quick video on this and give you some background, some food for thought if you're working on your land, if you have a spring, or of course the usual plant food plots. You can't have too much food. You can have not enough, and you can have a deer desert. As a matter of fact, today's October 15th, and I was out disking up new plots today because of the drought. I mean, some of mine burned up, so I replanted them, and it is what it is. Here I got someone else. I've had a lot of people visiting the farm lately with, you know, I had a logger come in, and I got other people visiting. So anyways, quick video, trail cam video for today, food and land management. If you like it, hit the like button. We'd love having you aboard. Good luck to all you hunters and land managers. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot.